The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey, hey, can you hear my voice and see my face? Can you hear my voice and see my face? Let me know in the chat if you can. Really stoked to be here again with you today. We had a webinar at noon that was awesome. Sweet. Looks like we do. Excellent. All right. Well, while we're waiting for a few people to arrive, let me know who's in the chat, where you're coming in from. It's just turning 5 o'clock right now. Let me know who's here and where you're watching in from. Cool. Really looking forward to this. I've never really given a webinar like this twice in one day, but it's really kind of fun to see the different people and do it again. All right, we've got Michelle from Los Angeles. Okay, yep, I'm here in LA too. We've got Elaine, Lonnie from Florida, Desmond from Connecticut, Margie from Oregon, Richard from Princeton, Clifford from Bel Air, Linda from Australia, Elaine from San Diego, and Bethany from Michigan. Who else? I see a lot more people. Shakita from Mississippi. Excellent. All right, I recognize some names from the video. Who else do we have on the line? We're waiting for people to arrive. Okay, well, I'm super, super stoked for this. Like I said, having given this once already at noon, I know you all are in for a treat. Okay, Nick from British Columbia, the Okanagan Valley. It's beautiful there. And Cynthia from Riverside, John from Calgary. Sweet. All right, well, let's make this happen. I'm going to just take this live. All right, and turn off my video so you can focus on the slides. Great. James from Malaysia. Sweet. All right, let's do it. Hello and welcome to the master class. Yay! I'm super excited that you've made time to join us here today. And believe me that I'm going to do everything I can to give you a massive return for the small amount of time that you'll invest to listen to what I have to share with you today. And even though it will be a relatively small amount of time, around 90 minutes, if you're able to really pay close attention to what I'm going to share with you, by the end of our time together, you'll have the 7 things that you must have to identify your profitable and fulfilling dream business. So you'll know whether or not your business idea has potential and what to do about it. And if you don't have an idea yet, by the end of today's presentation, you're going to know exactly where to look to find the best business idea for you that will be both profitable and fulfilling. And you'll finally be able to get out of search mode and into action mode. Sound good? Sweet. But first, why should you even be interested in starting your own business right now or staying in it if you already have one? And that's a really good question. And I've got a couple responses. Let's talk for a moment about why I believe that everyone should have their own business, even if it's still a small, part-time, and just getting started business. So first and most important is something called upside leverage, which is just a complicated way of saying that there's basically no ceiling on what you can earn. Now compare that with the working world where, frankly, you get paid the minimum amount that somebody else believes they would have to pay to get and retain someone with your skills and your training. It's a huge contrast. Earn as much as you're worth versus the bare minimum amount that your bosses think they'll have to pay you. Then there's the lifestyle factor. Running your own business gives you freedom that you can't simply get working for the man. You choose when, where, and how much you work. Now, you may make choices and commitments that require you to be available for long hours, but at least you have the power to choose. And while we're on the subject of choice, another thing that you can choose is what you do. If you haven't started a business yet, you literally have a blank slate of opportunity, allowing you to literally choose anything that you want to be your business. Now, that business choice may succeed or fail, and we'll be talking about that in detail, but you can still choose. So plus, if you already have a business, the slate is still almost completely blank. Yes, you have obligations to current customers, clients, and creditors, but as long as you fulfill them, you have the freedom anytime you want to make a different choice of what you want to do for a living or refine your existing choice. Don't like what you're doing right now because it's not personally fulfilling or lucrative enough? You can change. Try doing that at a regular job. And the coolest thing is that there never has been a better time to start your own company than right now. So here are just a few examples of how now, more than at any time in the history of mankind, the conditions are perfect for new or emerging entrepreneurs. First of all, technology has become your pal, even if you don't think it is. So everything that you need to get off the ground is either free or inexpensive. From tools to software to PR to social media, it's all free or incredibly cheap and incredibly easy to use, even if you're not tech savvy. That means that number two, the playing field is as level as it's ever been. Even the little guy or girl can look as well branded and professional as the big players. You have access to the same or better tools as the big players, and you can move faster, dance around them, and innovate quicker. Now, three, you don't have to jump into your own full time business right away. You can build your business on the side while your day job keeps the lights on. You get to chip away at your idea without the added pressure of a disappearing savings count. That's exactly what I did, and nobody was the wiser. Nobody called the entrepreneur with the day job police on me, okay? And four, the biggest reason, the overall biggest reason that you should start a business right now is that you must. Now, what do I mean by that? Simply put, if you're here listening to me today, I know that you've got a passion, a drive, an inner push to create something that's yours, that's bigger than some job that you might be working to pay the bills. You have that drive to build a better mousetrap, to help someone else, or to make an impact on the world. You want to create a legacy or a lifestyle for your family. You feel it inside you. You hear that voice telling you that you are meant for doing something more, something bigger. Yet despite all that, you still may be waiting for the right moment to come. The moment when you're ready, when you have all your ducks in a row. When. But I want you to be honest with me. Are you waiting because it's not the right time? Or are you waiting because you don't have the right idea? You see, most people hold off on starting their own business for two reasons. The first is because they don't feel like they have the right idea yet. The second is because they don't have the confidence that the idea they do have will be a profitable business for them to start. So let's talk for a moment about that first reason, finding the right business idea. I call the right idea your true north business idea. And it's the difference between a business you can build and the business that you're here to build. Your true north business is that business that you're here to build and that nobody else can build but you. And in my experience of life on this planet, waiting will almost never help you get clarity on what that is. And if you're on this call and you're already in business, I'm talking to you too. If the business that you decide to build or the business you have already isn't growing as fast as you want it to be, or if it doesn't excite you every single day, then the chances are good that you don't have a true north business. So what if by the end of this training today, you had a way to know without a shadow of a doubt whether any given business idea was right for you, and whether it was likely to be successful or not, and whether it was your true north business? Who would like that? And with that idea under your belt, would you agree that it might suddenly become the right time to get started building it? Let me know in the chat, and I'm going to wait here for your answers. Okay? All right. Yes, I'm seeing Michelle and Chiquita. Juliana would love that. Yes, says Lonnie and Clifford and Tony. Douglas says, this is what I need. And Cynthia, yes, everything you say resonates absolutely, says Elaine. All right, thank you. But of course, starting your own business, it can be tough. And there are a few common obstacles that could stand in the way of your path to building a profitable and fulfilling business. Anyone who told you starting and building a successful business is easy was selling something and lying to you, because it's a difficult path to stay on at times. And that's why many people try to start a business, but that end up back in their day jobs, myself included. So I invite you to consider a very important question. Why don't more people have their own business? Or an even more important question, why aren't you running the business of your dreams? Now, I realize you may already be running your own business, but the fact that you're on this webinar tells me that even if you are, the business you're running right now isn't meeting your needs. Either way, whether you have a business that's not fulfilling your needs or you haven't started one yet, this webinar is definitely for you. So let's go back to my question. Why aren't you running the business of your dreams? Let me know in the chat. You should know that I've asked that before and I've gotten tons of answers. So I've put together slides that talk about the most common reasons I see that most people are not running the business of their dreams. But first, let me take a look at your comments. Let me know why you're not really doing this. Why is the reason that maybe it's not happening yet? Manu is saying, now is the time. Awesome. John already has his True North business idea, checking to see if he's got all 7. Fabulous. William's saying money and support. Awesome. Michelle's saying fear of selling. LJ, confidence. Gregory is keeping his job to pay the bills. Gwendolyn says, I have no reasons. Melissa says fear. Anita, lack of clarity and confidence. Douglas doesn't want to give up the security of a good 9-to-5 income, which the family depends on. Shakita's got the right idea and need to know how to market it. Elaine's saying the time has arrived to do it. Confidence and clarity. Desmond dislikes selling. And Cynthia says, I feel like I'm beginning the business of my dreams. I just see the need to add. And sorry, for some reason, I can't read all of it. All right. And Oren says it might be illegal, immoral, or fattening. Awesome. Okay. So I've gotten tons of answers to these questions, and I've hear what you're saying, and we're going to address a lot of them. And I've put together slides that talk about the most common reasons that I see people are not running the business of their dreams, and many of the ones that you talked about as well. And I hear you, and you're definitely not alone in these reasons. So the first reason that many people are not running the business of their dreams yet is that they have no ideas. Seriously, oh my God, this was me. 7 years ago, I had all of these skills, but absolutely no idea what my business could be. And I'll tell you the story a bit later, but let me whet your appetite by saying, even if you think you don't have any ideas, there's actually a part of you that knows the answer, if you ask the right questions. And I'm gonna help give you some of those questions today. You have ideas in plenty of them. Just trust me on this for now. So the second is the opposite of the first. Instead of having no ideas, many people have too many ideas, and choosing which one is best is their challenge. So I've seen a lot of folk who like to move quickly around just between different ideas, kind of spitballing to see if one of them takes off. And I know how tough it can be to have too many ideas, too many things that could work, and to have no way to choose between them. My student Kat Kim's old niche was women who lack self-confidence, but it never really felt right to her. And using my process that I'll share with you today, she immediately figured out exactly the right thing for her to focus on. And the beautiful thing was that she now knows with crystal clarity the right thing for her to do, which influences every decision she makes. So what effect has this had on her life? It's made a massive difference. She found her True North business idea, something that she loves doing, that's also something that people really want to and are willing to pay well for. How well? Well, thanks to her newfound clarity and her resulting Start With You business, she just had a $14,000 month thanks to a single talk that she did in front of just 17 women. 14 of them signed up for a discovery session, and several of them invested in coaching with her. The key to her success was being able to know the right thing to focus on and what product to create. In her words, everything's been easy for me since I built my True North business because I'm doing something that's just exactly right for me, and my clients and prospects can feel it. Eric spent over a year in what he calls search mode, trying to figure out his True North business idea. It took him so long that he began to feel hopeless. He'd resorted to casting the widest possible net in the hopes that something, anything would stick. Anything would do as long as it made him some money. Anyone here today resonate with that one? But nothing did stick until he found his True North business niche, thanks to the checklist that I'll share today. So he went through the Start With You experience and was able to approach his business from the lens of who he is, which brought up a whole bunch of new ideas that weren't even on his radar before, which was exciting. Now, his new idea was working with men who want to be in long-term relationships but haven't been able to find the right women, so they stay chronically single. In his own words, having the compass point in a direction that I can follow was just an epiphany. It really was. It was a feeling of having a concrete focus on what I should be doing instead of being pushed in so many different ways. I felt that it was an incredible moment in my life. It was a gift of clarity. Now, Eric is making a massive difference on the lives of men and ultimately their families. And that's super meaningful to him since he's been able to help them create a world for their children that he didn't have. How would you like to feel like Eric and Kat and finally be able to make a confident choice and to find that one thing that's exactly right for you at this moment in time? Your True North business, a business that's perfectly aligned with you, who you are, and your purpose. Let me know if you'd like to finally feel ready to begin building your business because you know it's the right idea. Type I am into the chat box if that's something that you want to. So if you have too many ideas, that's great because at least you're starting somewhere. And when you use the profitable niche checklist that I'll share in a moment, you'll know how to know if your idea is your one thing. So I see Elaine, Anita, Melissa, Manu, Cynthia, Frini, Linda, William, James, Shakita, Margie, Gregory, Lonnie. Yes, Douglas, I'll say I am. Excellent. All right, so the third most common reason is I don't know where to start or what to do next. And my lovely friend Lisa Knox has a successful online business, but after working with me and going through this process, she realized that business wasn't her true north business. On the one hand, she had huge success, which is great, but on the other hand, it was the wrong business, which was kind of wasting her life. So if you're going to put in the hours to build a business, why not put in the work to build something that you'll love, that will give you life and not take it away, that will make you excited to get out of bed in the morning and have you constantly motivated and fired up. The wrong business just wears you down until you give up. So her new True North business has given her crystal clarity and the solid foundation to move into every stage of growing her new business and given her, in her words, the confidence that I know exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing, who I'm doing it for, what I'm going towards, and most importantly, it's letting me have fun in what I'm doing. You've given me the roadmap and the permission to enjoy the process. So anyone here resonate with Lisa's situation? Wouldn't you love to know exactly why you're doing what you're doing, who you're doing it for, and where you're going? It's my end goal to get you to the end result, your True North business idea. Oh, and then there's the fourth reason that often applies to people who already have a business. It's their inability to clearly describe what they do so that people want to pay you for doing it. So here's Maria, and Maria's an energy healer. And before, she found it hard to express in words what she did. She'd talk to people and have trouble getting them interested. I have a name for this type of business. It's a highly technical name that I'm thinking of getting trademarked. I call it a business that doesn't make money. But Maria was able to use the Start With You principles to find a great beginning for structuring everything, for understanding who I am, what I do, how to convey this message, and also build a business around it so I didn't have to keep floating from one person to the next. After Start With You, I feel more powerful and yet more humble at the same time because I truly understand myself. I don't go into that space of worry anymore because I know the steps. When things are not flowing, I know what to do next. I've developed the tools to really shift and change who I am and how I perceive things. Now, with her new confidence and clarity, she went from making $40,000 a year to having her first $20,000 month. Now, who here would love to feel that confident and that clear about what you're doing that the money just comes naturally to you? When I met Elizabeth Haynes, she was in her 60s, and even though she was being called to start a business, she was putting it off because she feared that she wouldn't have the energy to put into it. And because of that, she was resisting trying any of my ideas. And after I dug a little deeper, I discovered that she felt this way because for her entire life, she'd been building the wrong business for her. It wasn't the business she was here to build. Instead of powering her, it drained her and made her not want to build another business. But after she discovered her True North business with my help, she realized that here was a business that could actually give her energy. And 6 months in, she looks younger and more alive, radiant almost, and still on a growth path. And people could see and feel that. But the biggest reason of all is fear. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of action. This one hits most people. Actually, it's not your fault you're afraid because that fear is just your brain keeping you safe. It's our biology. So naturally, you listen, right? And when you listen to that part of your brain, you end up not taking any action. You don't take that plunge or step into the unknown because what if it doesn't go perfectly? What if you've chosen the wrong idea? What if that quote unquote perfect idea that you've been clinging onto for years isn't actually that good after all? Ouch. Nobody needs that. And here's the important point that I want to make. No great idea ever started that way, ever. Every single great idea got that way through time and through refinement and evolution and testing it in the marketplace. Look at Edison's light bulb. He found 10,000 ways to not make a light bulb before he finally cracked that nut. So what if it takes you a couple of tries to really nail your idea? And if you pay attention to and apply the checklist and the process that I'm about to give you, the 7 things that you must have to identify your most profitable and fulfilling dream business, you'll know with 100% confidence whether your idea has the potential to be successful. And you'll have the right steps to follow so it works fast. Forget about Edison and his light bulb. I don't want you to have to go through 10,000 iterations to nail your idea. With my process, you'll only need a few. And you won't need to be anywhere near as smart as Edison either. All those problems I just mentioned, let's just fix them, okay? Great. My name's Marisa Murgatroyd, and I'll be your guide today. I'm here to help you discover your perfect business, one that's both personally fulfilling and financially lucrative. Sound good to you? Awesome. So just a few short years, I was an actual starving artist. I'd graduated from Brown University with a degree in something called semiotics that nobody knows what it is, and without any idea that I would someday be starting my own business. I applied to job after job after job, and I couldn't get a thing. Nobody would even interview me, and I actually ended up working at the circus. And after that, I waited tables at night, and I landscaped by day, living in this unsafe, low-rent part of LA. I was surviving on things like ramen noodles and struggling to make ends meet. And then one day, I landed a job as a documentary filmmaker. It was a big deal for me. I was now legitimately earning a paycheck in the film industry. I was making these documentary films that not many people ever saw. But over the years making these films, I really learned a lot about what makes people tick, about how to see inside of someone to what's really driving them, what they really want, what's motivating them. Here I am filming at the LA landfill in maybe 2010. I had a lot of ideas and not a lot to show for them. Next, I got a job working for a large nonprofit, and that job taught me something called messaging, which basically means that I got really good at translating someone's message, their purpose, their calling, and what they're here to do in the world, and make it look and sound great in the marketplace. So here I was on the one hand, this expert in seeing into people and figuring out what makes them come alive and live amazing lives. And on the other hand, I was also an expert in taking anybody's message and purpose and making it feel super sexy. But in spite of all that expertise, I was the cobbler whose kid had no shoes because I still didn't have any ideas for what I could do for a business, or worse, I didn't even know what anyone would actually pay me for. I had literally no ideas for what kind of business to start. Now flash forward to today, and we're a multi-million-dollar business that reaches hundreds of thousands of people around the world and makes a very real difference in people's lives. But back then, I had no idea. Zero clues, nada. Now, isn't it amazing how our greatest superpowers can hide in plain sight? It's so crazy how little perspective we have on ourselves and on what we can build a business around and what people will actually pay us for. It's a little like the 5 blind men and the elephant. They can each only feel a different part of the elephant, and each man is convinced that the small part that they can touch is the entire truth. But when it comes to having the entire picture, you often need a set of eyes outside of yourself. And if you're in this situation, you might have an idea or not, and most likely you can't imagine what your true north business looks like. If that's the case for you, the good news is that this is what I'm here to help you with today. The truth is that I wasn't even considering starting a business until that fateful day when a truly, truly awful boss made an example of me in front of the entire office. And something inside of me just snapped. I resigned and immediately felt that there was something new inside of me. A desire to be my own boss, a desire to set my own course, to follow my own path in life. Trouble was, as I said, I had no idea what business to start or what someone would pay me for. So I did what every artist does when they need inspiration. I hit the road. I got in a car and I drove, waiting for the moment of inspiration, the hand of God or the lightning strike. I drove from Los Angeles all the way up to Vancouver, camping on the beaches of Oregon and Washington, cooking kale and quinoa on my little camp stove, just staring up at the nighttime sky, wishing upon the stars for clarity and inspiration. I did that for over a month. I had a lot of fun and I blazed through all my savings. But unfortunately, the clouds never parted and the inspiration never came. I told you that story for a reason. You see, most people are still waiting to have their clouds part and the sun to shine down on them, giving them perfect clarity of exactly what they should be doing for the rest of their life. And that's the problem. That flash of inspiration, where the entire plan is revealed to us, it never comes. So we wait, and we wait, and we say, I'm not ready, and we wait some more. Years may pass. We're still unhappy doing what we were doing, but we take no action to make a change. And here's the irony of this, and tell me if this describes you. All that time that you've been waiting, deep down in your heart, you know that you have the power to change your life in an instant. The fact is, we don't need to wait for lightning to strike. We don't need a guru to hand us the answer, nor do we need to depend on some huge life-changing event to come along to give us that push off the ledge. Whatever you want, whatever you desire, you don't have to wait for someone or something new to come into your life with all the answers. Not even me. And I can say that genuinely and with all the love of my heart for you and your unique situation, because I'm not here to give you all of the answers today. I hate the word guru. I don't call myself one. I never want to be one or be known as one. My mission and my purpose is to turn you into a real world online superhero so you can change the world from your living room. And there's something else that I want you to know about me. I'm a believer in two big principles. Principle number one is this. I believe that you already have all the answers inside you. That's a big one. How many times have you overthought a situation, asked other people, gotten advice, and then gone with your gut anyway? Or the flip side, there are all the times when you've taken logical advice that made a lot of sense, but in the end, it didn't work, and you knew all along it wouldn't because something just didn't sit right with you. I truly believe that you already have all the answers inside you already, and today, I'm going to help you look inside and bring them out. And second, I believe that you're as ready as you'll ever be. Remember what I said at the start. It's not that you're not ready. It's just that you don't have the right idea. If you had the right idea that you knew was your true north idea, your life would magically organize itself around you doing something with that idea. I've seen it happen over and over again. Like my students, Davina and Galen. They were dentists, getting patients into and out of chairs as quickly as was effectively possible. And Davina was 7 months pregnant with their second child when they decided to start their True North business. And their first reaction was like, whoa, this is not the right time. But they had an idea that they just knew was right, their True North idea. And they knew that they had to take action. So here's Davina pregnant and working on that new business idea from a closet in their bedroom. And just 8 months later, that little side business turned into $250,000 in revenue. Now they're able to give their newborn a life that they couldn't even imagine was possible just a few months before. The truth is, there will never be a convenient time to start a business or make the choice to change your life. Just like there's almost never a convenient time to have a baby. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen people, once they have the right direction, they just hit the ground running. So let's work on that today, getting you off and running to build your perfect business. So do me a favor and turn off all distractions. This information could literally define the rest of your life. So you're going to want to not be distracted, to take notes, and fully respond and interact with me, because I'm going to want to hear from you throughout the rest of this training. Now say I am in the chat if you're feeling as ready as you'll ever be. And just go ahead and say I am. I'm going to wait for your answers here. And take a sip of tea. All right, Ian, Juliana, Anita, Michelle, Lonnie, Elaine, William, LJ, Linda, Pam, Douglas, Frenie, Carol, John, Manu, Gregory, James, Shakita. Wow, it keeps going on. I'm going to have to stop. So if I didn't say your name, hi. A whole bunch more too. And so now as I take you through the profitable niche checklist, I want to ask you to consider the following questions. Why is building a business something that you want to do? What's your goal for your business? Why is this so important to you specifically? I like to make things very real and very specific because fuzzy targets do not get hit. So repeat that with me because it's so important to your success. Fuzzy targets don't get hit. So is it a financial target that you're after? Or is it a lifestyle target? Or is your dream to have more free time? Or is your target to make an impact? I know that you're probably thinking it's all of the above, but which one is most important to you? Let me know in the chat. So for me, the goal is to travel for 6 months out of the year with Murray, my husband. And in the other 6 months each year, I want to impact 1 million entrepreneurs by the time that I'm done on this earth. So your goal may not look like mine, but it's important to know what your major goal is. If you do know, type it into the chat and I want to read some out. And it's important to understand that most of your chances of achieving your goals will come down to how well you follow the checklist that I'm about to share with you and choose the right niche. So let me read your answers and get into the profitable niche checklist. All right. Eloise says, that was Desmond, financial and lifestyle freedom. Anita, more free time. Desmond, lifestyle. All right. William, to make an impact, as well as Shakita. Manu, financial impact. Lifestyle again from Desmond. Financial target from Pam. To call my own shots and have flexibility, says LJ. Salima says impact 1,000,000 lives. Juliana says I want to enjoy what I do again to have financial freedom and not hear screaming. I can't read the whole thing. Sorry. William wants to make an impact in real estate. Lonnie, financial target. Shakita, make an impact while being financial secure. And still a lot more people who are writing in the line. Elaine says, I'm retired and need to choose well. Awesome. Glad you're all here. And let's make this happen so you can really achieve your target, whatever that is for you, your most important one, and maybe your second and your third as well. So let me start here by going into the profitable niche checklist. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read each of the 7 criteria first. Sorry, it sounds like there's someone unmuted.
Okay.
Hold on.
She did good. All right.
All right, Samara.
Well, I'll be in touch once we kind of
Samara,
explain it. We'll
I think
see how things are going.
I hear you talking. Someone's talking.
Yeah,
All right, that's
fine. Thanks so much.
That's random, but I don't see anyone that I can mute. Okay. All right. Let me try this again. If someone can text Samara, please, that'd be great. So let me start by reading each of the 7 criteria, and then I'm going to explain each of them with some detailed explanations and examples from some Start With You students who started off with very vague business ideas that didn't meet this criteria, and then were able to fine-tune and clarify their ideas until they met all 7 of these criteria. And I'm going to share with you what happened once they did. And spoiler alert, it's all good news. All right. So criteria number 1 is that your business idea must solve a very specific and acknowledged market need. This could be solving a specific problem or delivering a specific outcome. The key is choosing a need, problem, or outcome that people know they already have. Not some hidden need, problem, or outcome that you think they have or that you think that they need to solve. In other words, don't try to solve a problem that you think is important, but not a lot of other people seem to care about in the way that you do. Make sense? All right. So next is criteria number 2, and that is that your business idea is targeted at a specific kind of person. Let's call this person your ideal client. Ideally, this is a person who self-identifies with the way that you describe them, and I'm going to give you an example of what I mean in just a moment. Criteria number 3 is that you must be able to identify a specific person who needs that problem solved. So when you describe the specific need you address and the kind of problem you solve for the person that you described in number 2, you should actually get a clear mental picture of someone specific who needs the solution that you plan to provide. An even better way of thinking of this is whether other people, when they hear about the problem you solve, say something like, oh, you should talk to my friend Susan. She really needs what you're talking about. That's the response that you're going for. Criteria number 4 is that your target customer needs to be actively seeking a solution to their problem and is willing and able to pay to have it solved. So Susan needs to be open to getting help with her problem, need, or desire, and she's actually willing and able to invest in what you have to offer. Now, with most profitable niches, your ideal client should be actively seeking a solution. Criteria number 5 is that you can easily reach your target customers. So you can easily reach this kind of person through your personal value network, live events, Facebook advertising, joint venture partnerships, or another form of marketing or networking that's within your reach. And along those lines, criteria number 6 is that there are enough members of your target audience to build a business. So a good rule of thumb is that there are more than 10,000 people on the planet who can easily be reached through your marketing who want what you do. And if there isn't, you can make money, but it becomes really hard to scale your business. You'll just hit a ceiling that you can't seem to break. And finally, criteria number 7 is that you actually can help this person solve the problem and you enjoy it too. Fair enough, right? This is the easiest criteria to meet. And for many people, the only one that they meet when they first get started, because they've got this checklist and they don't have this checklist actually, and all the tools that I teach to help you tune into your profitable and fulfilling true north business idea. So many people focus just on what they enjoy helping people with, which is criteria number 7. But they forget about criteria 2 to 6. They forget to think about or talk about what they do in a way that's relevant to a specific kind of person. So nobody's interested in listening and nobody buys. For many of you, this may be a new way of thinking about your business. And it can take some time and perspective to generate really strong ideas and refine them through the profitable niche checklist. But in spite of the fact that most people never think about their potential or even existing business this way, the 7 criteria that I just gave you are absolutely essential to business profitability and success. And every one of them is vital. If you choose to pursue a business that only meets 3 of these, you're almost guaranteed to fail. Now, even if you hit 6 of the 7, let's just say, I wouldn't start that business. So to give you some ideas on how this works, I want to show you how a few of the students that I spoke about earlier have used the checklist to create profitable and fulfilling businesses. Let's start with Uwe, who lives in Germany. Now, Uwe was offering a 6-month coaching program on living your true purpose to professionals and entrepreneurs. And he sounded a whole lot like everybody else was getting that dreaded glassy-eyed, oh, okay, that's a nice look. And then they just kind of changed the subject. So I mean, if you hear, I help professionals and entrepreneurs live their true purpose, can you think of anyone specific? Not really. This doesn't really fit our 7 criteria. I mean, how do you reach these people when they're not clearly defined? You don't, and you can't. So while Uwe knew that what he did, he wasn't crystal clear of a very specific application. And because of that, he felt uncomfortable talking about it. So what he eventually realized as he talked to a lot of these entrepreneurs and professionals is that many of them were suffering from burnout. But the next big breakthrough came when he really started to think about the first 6 criteria of the profitable niche checklist. And he realized how he could get even more specific. He realized that 51% of all dentists and physicians are experiencing burnout, and that he could help them create an anti-burnout system to protect their vitality, their business, and their family. Big difference already, right? Now, Uwe is definitely hitting criteria 1. He's acknowledging a specific and urgent market need because 51% of all dentists and physicians are experiencing burnout. And if a dentist and physician was in this situation, they would definitely see themselves in this description, right? They would self-identify. Criteria number 3 is that I have friends who are dentists and doctors and experiencing burnout, so I can picture them in my mind. That's a good sign. Criteria 4 is that there's a lot on the line with their careers. So they're definitely open, willing, and able to invest in a solution because standard medical practices alone can't prevent burnout. Criteria 5, you can definitely reach dentists and physicians. They're not at all hard to reach because they want to be found. And criteria number 6, if 51% of doctors and physicians are experiencing burnout, there are definitely more than 10,000 people in Uwe's target market. Finally, criteria number 7, Uwe can definitely help these people solve this problem, and he loves it. So tuning into his true north business has really made a difference in his life in a big way. Before this, the max that he would make in any given month was about 2,000 euros. Now, he's increased his rates, and he's selling his packages for 5,000 to 15,000 euros. And he's already sold 2 of them. And then there's Maria. Now, Maria's a medical intuitive who is helping people experience miracles, helping all kinds of people experience all kinds of miracles. And that wasn't going so well, right? So the only criteria that Maria's idea fulfilled was lucky number 7. This was something that Maria could help people do and something that she genuinely loved. And because she was really good at what she did and so passionate about it, she was able to make $40,000 a year with a whole lot of effort. So her strategy was basically to hanging out and getting into conversation with people around their challenges at the airport whenever she traveled. Then she went through the Start With You process and started to see who she could help the most, where her abilities would provide the biggest benefit. And that was for people who were suffering a chronic or severe illness, who had tried just about every medical solution with little to nothing to show for it. She helped them experience a medical miracle and heal on a deeper level than traditional medicine could reach. So with this shift to specificity and clarity, Maria jumped from making $40,000 a year to having her first $20,000 month. So as you can see, she meets criteria number 1. She's acknowledging a specific problem and urgent market need. Criteria number 2, well, not everyone who is suffering a chronic or severe illness would relate to wanting a miracle. Some of them definitely would, especially as a last resort. Criteria number 3, and I can picture definitely at least one person that I know who was recently diagnosed with cancer and doesn't want to go through chemo, but who would be open to working with Maria. Criteria number 4, yes, you better believe that if someone were really suffering or faced with death or disability, that they'd be at the very least open and willing to get support. And most of them could find the money if the situation were urgent enough. Criteria number 5, yes, you can reach these people. Everybody knows someone in this situation. And criteria number 6, there are definitely more than 10,000 people with a serious medical problem that would be open to an alternative solution. And finally, criteria number 7, and that's a no-brainer. Maria is on a mission with her work, and she'd probably do it even if she didn't get paid. So even with something that feels outside of the box, Maria was able to really dial her business in a way that increased her results 5 times as well, making the leap from $40,000 a year to her first $20,000 month. So can you see the power of aligning with the criteria of the checklist? Let me know in the chat box if you can see the power of aligning with this specific criteria. I'd love to know. And would you agree that a good business idea would align very closely with all of the criteria on this checklist, all 7? Let me know in the chat box. And I want to look for your answers over here. Yepper, says Elaine. And oops, actually I'm at the wrong place. Yes, says Kathleen, Michelle, Lonnie, Linda, William, Douglas, agree, says Linda. Kathleen says yes, all, yes, and yes, says Elaine. Yes, says Pam. Yes, says Greg. And it goes on and on. And Shanika says, yes, that gives me so much more clarity. Excellent. That's what I'm hoping for. So I want you to take a moment to think about an idea that you've been considering. And when you're honest with yourself, does it align with all 7 criteria on the checklist? And I've noticed that sometimes people have the tendency to flub it a bit and try to make it work even if it doesn't work. But I want to say that you're doing yourself a huge disservice if you're going to try to flub this. Because really, you're going to set yourself up to struggle if you can't say yes to all 7 of these things. Now, if it does, that's great news because your idea has a much greater chance of succeeding. If it doesn't, then don't worry because here's the thing. And as I said, great ideas typically never begin as great ideas. They begin as okay ideas and then they get refined and improved over time. And many people find they need a little bit of guidance to develop their idea into a final form that you can feel 100% confident in moving forward. So next up, I want to announce the winner of a $1,000 Start With You Incubator Grant, along with one more thing that's super important for your success that I want to teach over and above whether or not your ideas fit all 7 criteria. Now, first of all, the winner. And I think I may have seen her come on the line today, which is going to be kind of exciting. I'm not sure if she's still here, though. So the winner of the Start With You Business Accelerator Grant, yay! All right, this was a super hard choice to make because we had over 50 submissions for the Start With You Incubator Grant, and there were a lot of great ideas in there, and some ideas that could use a little refinement using our checklist. So without further ado, let's give a huge congratulations in the chat to Bethany Waterbury from DeWitt, Michigan. Now she's a genealogist, and here's what she wrote to us. I work with adoptees and others with unknown parents to identify and reconnect with their birth families using cutting edge DNA technology and genealogical research. We awarded Bethany this grant because basically, this was one of the most creative and practical applications of genealogy that I've ever seen. Most people, what they focus on is doing these ancestry charts, which is cool, but it doesn't really meet criteria number one. So I want to show you how Bethany's ideas aligned with our profitable niche checklist, right? So this is really for people who are seeking a biological parent. So it's an urgent need for them. So criteria number two is if you're feeling lost and estranged because you don't know who your mother or father was, you would self-identify with not knowing who your mother or father was, right? You would make sense. That sounds like you. Criteria number three, and I can picture one friend of mine, Star, who fits this description, and the search for her real family almost tore her life apart. And criteria number four, yes, if someone really wanted to find their family, they would be open, willing, and able to invest. Now for criteria number five. Finding these people is a little bit trickier, but there are forums and groups and support networks. Now, Bethany could also start to do a lot of content marketing to attract people who are searching on these topics for her, right? To really attract them to her. Criteria number six is there are definitely more than 10,000 people in the world who don't know who their family is. And finally, criteria number seven, it's pretty clear from Bethany's description that she's passionate about this work and she can really help. So huge congrats to Bethany. Just email support@liveyourmessage.com to claim your $1,000 prize. And I hope it really helps you rev up your business again. And thanks for sharing what you do with all of us. A lot of congrats in the chat for Bethany. All right, now I'm gonna do a magic trick. I'm gonna make $1,000 look like an absolute drop in the bucket. So I wanna ask you a serious question. And that is, what kind of business are you building? And here's what I mean by that. It's well known that 80% of all new businesses fail within the first 5 years. But what's not commonly known is why they fail. And I'd like to share that with you. And pay attention here because you haven't heard this before, anywhere. There are 3 distinct types of businesses that you can start. And unfortunately, the 2 that are most commonly taught will cause you to fail. You'll either go broke, burn yourself out, or eventually just lose interest. The first way, and unfortunately this is one of the most common ways out there to teach business building, and it's what I call copycatting. This is where you find a business model, strategy, or approach that's working for somebody else, and you simply copy what they're doing. Hey, if it's working for them, then maybe it'll work for me. And modeling someone else's success actually seems like a smart and logical way to get started. It does, right? But you know what? This approach used to work a few years ago when the market wasn't such a crowded place. But today there's a lot more noise out there. Your social media is full of ads that are all saying the same things. Lots of people are making the choice to build a business or a side hustle, and the options are multiplying just about every day. So if you're building a copycat business, chances are you'll either be lost in the noise of over 1 billion websites, or you'll be successful for a time until more people jump on the copycat approach that you've chosen. And even worse, when you copy what somebody else is doing, you can only copy what you can see. And the odds are good that you'll miss the secret sauce that they have that's not visible to the naked eye, which can actually be the biggest ingredient of their success. Which means that copycatted businesses are rarely as financially lucrative as the one they copied. Now, I still haven't given you the biggest why that I don't recommend starting a copycat business. And that is that it's virtually impossible for a copycatted business to feel fulfilling to you over the long term. So it's likely that you'll wind up running a business that will leave you broke and miserable at the same time. Now, I don't know about you, but that's not the kind of business that I want to start. So now I want to tell you about the second kind of business that's commonly taught, and I call this the cookie paradox. And this is also sometimes called a business in a box, a franchise, a license, or a certification. In other words, it's a one-size-fits-all business solution that the promoters pretty much guarantee to work as long as you can follow the steps and paint by numbers. Now, these kinds of businesses often do work, whether you're creating a certified coaching business or a local marketing agency or opening up a McDonald's or a Starbucks. The challenge is that for most people, unless your only motivation for going into business is financial reward, there's not a lot of freedom in a business in a box. Because when they hand you the keys, they also hand you the rule book, right? It's a complete A to Z on how to run that business. All the rules and regulations, the look and the feel, the voice, the attitude, and the culture. The cookie paradox means that it's literally against the rules to be yourself. So here's the paradox. When everybody's baking the same cookie, it doesn't matter how good that cookie is. There's only so many cookies you can eat. Now, I don't know about you, but that isn't why I wanted to get into business. I didn't want to go from one bad boss to another. So Elizabeth, who started us way back in 2015, she was in this boat. She'd been wanting to start a business and tried lots of different life coaching and business coaching programs and really didn't get anywhere with them in terms of results because they just didn't pull any inspiration from her. In other words, they were just cookie cutter approaches for how to do your business. You follow this, and this step. She realized the reason why she hadn't found success with those businesses was because they weren't aligned with who she was as a person. And ultimately, she ended up burned out because the work wasn't what she really wanted to be doing. It wasn't her big work in the world that came direct from her passions, gifts, and core values. It wasn't her true north business. Now, since then, everything's changed. With the help of our Start With You tools and exercises, she finally asked herself the right questions, which helped her get the right answers about what business was perfect for her to start. And those answers then guided her in what direction to go and what directions to completely eliminate. So you can think about your true north business like a compass. Take a moment to really imagine a compass. It's always pointing north, right? You're like this compass. At all times, you remain calibrated to point to your true north, even if you're not aware of it. You can rely on your true north to guide you, show you the right path to take, even as you evolve and even as the world changes around you. Your true north is that part of you that guides you in the world. And generally speaking, it's made up by the sum of your collected experience, your interests, and your unique gifts or superpowers. A true north business is the only kind of business that will both allow you to stand out from the noise of the most crowded market that the world and the internet has ever seen and experience the long-term fulfillment of building not just the business you can build, but the business you're here to build. But too many people ignore their true north compass when it comes time to choose their business, and they end up heading in the wrong direction. And because your true north business is founded on your internal truth, not guesses, fashions, or whims, it's easier to stay on track as others get distracted by attractive opportunities that pull them off course. So as long as you understand this and follow your true north, you'll arrive at your destination, whatever that looks like for you. So the beautiful part is that while everyone's true north business is different, the path to finding it is the same. You need to start with you. And once Elizabeth used the principles that we taught her, she was able to identify her true north business. She now has a yardstick for evaluating everything she does. And as she likes to say, either something inspires me or it will expire me. And she can make great decisions from that place. Now, just like Elizabeth, I believe that you were born for a reason. You have the gifts, experience, and expertise that you have for a reason. And you are uniquely designed to build a particular kind of business that no one else can build like only you can. And if you're like me, you want your business to stand for something more, for something bigger, grander, and more important. You want to impact people and change the world. And it's impossible to do that when you're playing from somebody else's rule book, the opposite of a fulfilling business. Luckily, there is a third way. Yes, it's your true north business. The only kind of business that will both allow you to stand out from the noise of the most crowded market the world and the internet has ever seen, and experience the long-term fulfillment of building not just a business you can build, but the business you're here to build. Whether you're still waiting for the right time to start, or whether you already have a business and it doesn't feel right, this may be the reason. Your idea may have been copycatting, or it fell into the cookie paradox, and that's why you felt like something was missing. And that something that was missing from the picture, it was probably you. Which leads me to the 3 most important words when it comes to starting a business with 100% confidence and certainty. And they are start with you. Now, let me explain why those words are so powerful. When you build a business based on who you are, your superpowers, life experiences, big whys, and your action plan, then suddenly you're able to eliminate everything that isn't your true north until all that is left are ideas that are right for you. The time is right, and you're excited, and you're fired up, and you're ready to begin. You don't need a guru to give you the answers. Those answers are already inside of you. You simply need a guide to help you access the answers because, again, they're already inside of you. So what's invaluable is having the right guidance and mentor to lead you to the answers because most people can't do this alone. They can't see themselves clearly. They need feedback and coaching, and that's what we're here for. We're here to be your guide. And the beautiful thing is that while everyone's true north business is different, the path to finding it is the same. I developed the Start With You experience to help take you from wherever you might be right now. You might have a day job, but you know that the only real security in life fulfillment lies in doing your own thing. Or you might already have a business or side business, but it's not growing as fast as you want, but now you know why. You may have built the wrong business, maybe the wrong idea, something that's not your true north and you feel stuck, burned out, or just bored, or something that doesn't align with all 7 criteria of the profitable niche checklist. Or you might have built a copycatting business or be stuck in the cookie cutter paradox. Whichever best describes you, you're probably in one or more of these situations right now. 1, you don't have ideas or need help to land your true north business idea. 2, you've got too many ideas and need help to find the one idea to run with. 3, you've got an idea, but it's not getting the attention and clients that you were hoping for. And here's the cool thing. In most cases, you can have the result, the clarity, the confidence, and the commitment in 21 days or less. And best of all, you've only seen a small portion of the people that we've worked with who've achieved amazing success. Hundreds of people who now have true north businesses that are profitable and fulfilling. People like Jesse Krieger, the founder and publisher of Lifestyle Entrepreneur Press, Lynn Olivari of Transformational Travel, Helmut Warman Whitaker, who's a shaman, Catherine Goldman, the legal mentor for creatives and founder of the Creative Law Center, Iris Hubler of the Superfood Academy, and many, many, many more that you can see on the screen here. A whole lot more. And now it's your turn, because here's what I know about you. You're just as smart, dedicated, passionate, and hardworking as these people are. You're just as capable of them, and damn it, you deserve it. So it's important to know that the approaches, tools, and exercises that we've created for Start With You that allow entrepreneurs to start and thrive aren't common knowledge, and they aren't available to everyone. And as you can imagine, when you have something this powerful, you can't get it without a significant investment of time, energy, serious contemplation, and money. I make no qualms about that because we can agree on one thing, and it's this. This program is not about what it costs you. It's what you'll get in exchange for your investment. So here's the reality as I know it. If I had a crystal ball and we could look at what your life looks like a couple months from now, and we see that your new business had generated $20,000 or more in revenue, and the only way to get there was to invest 1/10 of that, $2,000 with me, you'd invest $2,000 with me right here, right now, without a second thought if you knew for sure that it was going to happen. So it ain't about the money, especially when I can literally guarantee that you'll come out of this experience with your complete true north business idea and be ready to turn the key and start the profit engine. So if it ain't about the money, what is it? I believe it can be boiled down to a single word. You ready for it? It's called belief. Belief. I get that you may be thinking that this sounds too good to be true. You may think, these testimonials, they're made up, they're doctored, they're misrepresented. Or say, well, they did it, but, and there's that awful word, but. But is an excuse. Can you do it? Here's what I believe. I believe you can. And listen, I believe enough that I'm willing to put my own money on the line to prove it. Why? Because I want to help you truly experience freedom for the first time. Financial independence. Making a difference with your true north business. But what it boils down to is freedom. I'm going to ask you to do what I did in 2010 that forever changed my life. I made a choice to take a chance and invest in myself and my deepest desire. At the time, I had not one single idea of the business I was going to start. I did it anyway. I couldn't afford to do it. I did it anyway. I was scared. I did it anyway. It was hard work. I did it anyway. I worked long hours. I did it anyway. In that doing it anyway, that's made all the difference. Here I am today with a multi-million-dollar business that serves tens of thousands of people, a true north business that I love. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to turn your unique gifts, talents, and personality into a true north business idea that's ready to make money. And trust me when I say it's never too early and it's never too late. Nobody on their deathbed ever regretted giving it a shot. So let's get the investment out of the way first before we talk about all the special good things that I've got for you today. If you say yes in the limited time that we have, here's the investment. It's $377 right now, then 2 more installments spaced 30 days apart of $377. And listen, I get it. This is not an insignificant investment, and yes, it might hurt when you reach and grab that credit card and put it into the order form. I get it. This is not to be taken lightly. This is your business and your financial success for the rest of your life we're talking about here. Investing in yourself is always the most important decision you can make. This isn't lost on me. This is a financial investment because this is the most effective program in its class. It's the only program that will truly guide you to where you most desire to go. To that place of clarity where you know what your true north business looks like, tastes like, and smells like, and you'll know the next step that you need to take to start building it. So my advice is, whatever you have to do, make this happen because once you do, I can guarantee that you'll find your true north business. I'm thinking back to my student Kate Wan, who I met at one of our live events. Her 10-year-old business was in decline and she was deep in debt. Her once thriving business had dwindled to less than $1,000 a month in income. She even found herself struggling to sell a low-end $99 product. She wanted to do this, but she said, Marisa, I've got a problem. I'm scared to put even more money on the line and not get results. And after speaking more with her and explaining what I've just gone through with you today about the True North business, she could see that this was something that she needed to do. And by taking that step and investing in herself and her business, she was able to make an immediate major shift and 5x her income from the previous year in just 4 months. Now, before she was struggling to sell her lowest end product for just $99. Now she regularly sells $4,500 programs and only works around 20 hours a week. This year, she's on track to make 6 figures. So Kate sent this to me the other day. I'm so full of joy. I love my work. I feel more confident. Not only am I making more money, I'm having a huge impact in my clients' lives, and I have time to be with my family and run my business. And in the winter, I get to ski 3 days a week. So now it's your turn. So that's what I want for you. Later will never come. Let's do the thing that we know needs to be done today. The Start With You process is an immersive experience that gives you the tools, experiences, and coaching you'll need to discover the true North business idea that you already have inside of you. And by the end, I guarantee that you'll have a business idea that you'll feel confident moving forward with, or will work with you until you do. Week 1 is where we find your hidden treasure. We'll mine your past for clues that will lead you to the business of your future and your superhero story. You'll see how your life has prepared you perfectly to create the life and business that you most want. Week 2 is called Identity Upgrade. This is where together we'll uncover the superpowers that you didn't realize you had that will guide you to your true North business. We'll upgrade you so that you can clearly see your full potential as an entrepreneur and understand how you are uniquely designed to serve. Week 3 is the Go Switch. This is where we put it all together. You'll end the program by choosing your niche and crafting an action plan for starting your true North business. By the end of week 3, your true North business is going to emerge from the fog and you'll shed the doubt, hesitation, and second guessing to actually move forward with unshakable confidence. And I'm not done yet. I've got some incredible bonuses to tell you about that makes your result that much more achievable and quicker than you ever thought possible. The first bonus is called Massive Action, and it's my fastest path to a successful, profitable business. You see, Start With You is released over 3 weeks with 1 module per week. I don't like to wait if I don't have to. We can get you there faster, as fast as you wish to get there. Tony Robbins says that the fastest path to success is taking massive action, and I agree. As you step into your new entrepreneur identity, you'll very soon realize that taking action is the master skill set that you need to learn. When you feel doubt or fear and being able to get into action anyway, that's amazing. Every single entrepreneur that you admire has this skill. I guarantee it. If you only took this one bonus and implemented it and became a master of taking massive action, I guarantee that you would have success even if you didn't study a single module of the program. It does neither of us any good if you invest in the program but don't consume the material and don't put it into action. I want nothing less than success for you. It's my mission, right? And that's what I really want for you. It's my mission here. And I would be remiss in my mission if I didn't cover these master skills before I give you the rest of the magic that I have in store for you. You can't buy this bonus anywhere. I don't offer it or sell it anywhere, but you can get it for free as part of Start With You. It's 10 short videos, 10 powerful step-by-step exercises that will literally change everything about the way that you work and your personal productivity. You'll be amazed by their effectiveness. I've developed them after working with and coaching thousands of people on how to take action. Mark Jordan said, since the class, I signed up one new ongoing client, was asked by another client to travel to Europe for meetings, and began working on a new business idea that I developed during one of the homework assignments. Incredibly powerful. Now, massive action needs fuel, and that's why bonus number 2 is called rocket fuel. This is where we're going to light the fuse underneath you that's going to power your massive action from day one for as long as you wish. And in fact, it's not just one fuse, it's 3 massive fuses that we're going to light underneath you. And these fuses are based on why you're doing this to begin with. Most people get into business to have a great lifestyle or to provide for their family or to help people. But many of them end up burning out, giving up, and walking away from their business. What if I told you that these people were missing 2/3 of the fuel that they needed to drive them forward and keep them taking action? When you understand and put into place the rocket fuel that I'll give you in this bonus, everything will change for you. People are going to look at you differently. They'll say you look younger, fitter, ask, have you been working out? They won't know, but you'll know the reason. We all have the same amount of rocket fuel available to us, but most of us just never ask the right questions that unlock the huge fuel tanks that are hidden underneath the surface. I've seen people without any kind of business become wealthy and famous thanks to having found their rocket fuel. So imagine what's possible for you in your business when I guide you to yours. My student, Dr. Amori, said, it hurt so deeply knowing that I hadn't fully given my gifts. I responded to Start With You, and within hours, I landed my soul's mission that I'd been searching for years. I feel so grateful. Again, rocket fuel is not available anywhere else, but you can get it for free when you go to the URL on your screen right now and sign up. Here's bonus number 3. I'm going to give you Start With You coaching sessions. That's 6 group coaching calls with me personally. Several years ago, Natalie Hill was where you're sitting. Lovely lady with a huge heart. And we were able to do some coaching together. And after the session, she sent in this. Had a coaching session this morning with Marisa that will at least triple the value of my list building lab. So grateful to be in this program. Seeds are being planted for big harvest seasons to come. I've personally coached thousands of people on finding their purpose and building their true north business. And I'd like to coach you too. You're going to be able to run your ideas past me personally and have the confidence that you're making the right decisions every step of the way. You can ask questions, you can get answers, you're going to get step-by-step, immediately implementable information and feedback. I'll help you refine your ideas and help pull the knowledge out of you that we both know is already there waiting to be called on. Joel says, just gotta say, Marisa, you freaking rock. I was going back through the coaching you gave me last night and it really struck a chord. You can't buy my time by the hour anymore. So if I were to sell these separately, which I don't, these 6 group coaching calls that stretch out over the entire program would be valued at $1,500. But this is available to you free as part of Start With You because I'm serious about your success. Bonus number 4 is near and dear to my heart. I want you to know something about me. The thing that I hate the most is when I see people selling the latest and greatest shiny object tools, strategies, and tactics out there online to people that I know for a fact won't get success using them. I've earned my reputation as the queen of practical, down-to-earth strategies that fit you and actually work. And it breaks my heart when people come to me and say they wish they'd met me a year ago because they've just lost a year to strategy X or $10,000 of their savings to tactic Y. To me, there's nothing more draining and depressing than realizing that you've just wasted time or money. And my biggest pet peeve is the current rush toward the promise of huge passive income and evergreen products. These are products that claim to generate income while you're sitting on the beach sipping cocktails, or even better, while you're asleep. The biggest market for this is folks like you who are just getting started or haven't hit the income goals that you have for yourself yet. And I can totally see why it's so attractive. I mean, who wouldn't want to strap on the rocket pack and just blast right up to the top rung of the ladder overnight? I'd do it too if it were possible. But it's not, because this strategy is missing the key essential ingredient of knowing what to say to inspire someone to buy what you're selling. I like to say, before you can make money while you sleep, you have to be able to make money while you're awake. That's why, as bonus 4, I've created a special training called Sales for Superheroes. And it's the lowest pressure way you can get ninja at talking naturally to people and selling them what you do without being pushy or salesy. Your sales conversations will be positive experiences where your prospects will feel they got the better end of the bargain, be excited to write you a check, or give you their credit card. And best of all, you'll get critical, real-world feedback on what people really think of not just your business idea, but how you're talking about your business idea. Most people confuse the two, but in reality, your business idea can be earth-shatteringly awesome. But if you don't know how to sell it, you'll be eating noodles for dinner. So if finding the right words can turn a truly awful business idea into a multi-million-dollar winner, imagine the potential when you apply this to a great idea. Think of this like a proven step-by-step system that simply helps more people buy more from you over and over again. We've included dozens of proven processes and complete sales scripts that you can customize, but most people just use them word for word because they work so well right out of the box. So take a moment to imagine the awesome potential that's waiting for you when you put Sales for Superheroes together with your business idea. And again, this training isn't for sale anywhere else, but it's absolutely free when you invest in Start With You today. So in addition to Massive Action, Rocket Fuel, the 6 Start With You coaching sessions, and Sales for Superheroes, you'll also get bonus number 5, a ticket to join us at our annual 3-day business building event, Message to Money Live. So what is Message to Money Live? It's our yearly live event and celebration that's happening February 16th to 18th, 2018 in Los Angeles. So Message to Money Live is where we blow the doors off your business. If you think working with me and Start With You is powerful, just wait until you see what you'll take away from getting into a room with me for 3 solid days to work on your business. It's where we come together over 3 days to take your new business to the next level. Tanya Kersey said, after attending Message to Money Live, my business skyrocketed, and within 8 months, I had my first $10,000 month. Emily Fontes said, after Message to Money Live, I will have made over $50,000 in just the first quarter and will be well on my way to meeting my income goals for the year. Jordan Moran said, I was frankly shocked with the amount of actionable material that I received. Every session was more incredible than the last, and the Friday morning session literally blew my mind. I can only do this event once a year because I put everything I got into it, and I reinvent the whole thing every year. It takes me a full month to create each event's content, and it's packed full of the latest of what's working online. Tickets are currently selling on my website for $997, but you get your ticket free as a special bonus when you invest in Start With You today. Bonus 6 is our Start With You Hall of Fame. So when you take action, complete the program, and reach mission accomplished within the 21 days of the course, I'm going to be so proud of you that I'm going to be featuring you and your new business in the startwithyou.com public website Hall of Fame. So you can share this listing with your friends and your family to celebrate your accomplishment, and may even bring you fame, fortune referrals, better search engine presence, and increased organic traffic. And as we draw towards the end of today's session, if there's anything that I know about someone who's considering building a business, it's that they're a powerful person. You have to be. And bonus number 7 is I'm Powerful, a series of 6 interviews with incredibly successful entrepreneurs who have overcome massive challenges to get where they are today. I created this series because I needed it, and because I didn't ever want to pretend that I know it all. I wanted extra perspective on how the people that I admire and respect find and draw their power when things are tough. These essential Get Your Mindset Right interviews are going to show you that it's not just okay to be yourself in business, but that you must be more of yourself than you've ever been before. Being pretend or fake just takes too much effort. Being authentic is the key to opening the doors to your true tribe, the people who you're meant to serve, people who've been waiting for you to show up. If you get just one shift or insight thanks to this training, it'll have been invaluable. And as with most of the bonuses that I'm giving you today, this one is not available for sale anywhere. You won't find it, but you do get it free along with Start With You. And finally, I've saved the best bonus for last. And this is over and above everything else that you're already getting in the Start With You experience. In the future, the Start With You experience will be led by my team of coaches. But for this one time only, I'll personally be leading this class of Start With You. You'll be on the inside as I refine this program, and you'll get more individual feedback from me in the Facebook group and live coaching calls than you'll ever get again. So imagine the excitement of being on the ground floor as I refine this program in direct collaboration with you. You'll see your breakthroughs, your challenges, and your questions woven into the fabric of the teaching, and know that you're part of the first group to receive this product in its brand new experientified form. This is an additional $3,000 value over and above everything else that you're receiving today when you join Start With You today. Now, just to recap everything that you get the full 3-week experience valued at $997, along with all of the 9 bonuses, Massive Action valued at $497, Rocket Fuel valued at $97, Start With You coaching sessions valued at $1,500, Sales for Superheroes valued at $997, a free ticket to Message to Money Live, which is selling for $997, a spot in the Start With You Hall of Fame when you get to Mission Accomplished during the 21 days of the program, $1,000. I'm Powerful, $497, and you get me personally facilitating the program. I bill out my days at $15,000 a day, and that's the minimum commitment to work with me privately. So you have 3 full weeks with me in this group experience. It's got to be valued at least $3,000. And it all adds up to a huge $9,282 in value, but you get all this for $377 down today, followed by 2 more payments of $377 30 days apart, or you can save by grabbing it for a single payment of $997. It's completely up to you. And when you sign up today on the webinar, we have one more fast action bonus for you that's only available while we're live on the line. You won't be hearing this on the replay. It's a special for our live webinar audience because I love that you're spending your Friday evening with me. You might have noticed that I've told a lot of stories during today's presentation. That was no accident. Authentic and compelling stories are the key to standing out, and bonus number 9 is Hidden Story Power, valued at $297. This is my masterclass on how to tell your personal story in business to attract your ideal customers and instantly charge more than you ever thought possible. With this bonus, you'll also be invited to quarterly story celebrations where you'll have the opportunity to share your story with me and get my personal feedback. So since Hidden Story Power, Emily Filaramo has said this: I've gotten noticed by other personal development gurus, and my following is growing fast because of my story. Strategies learned in Hidden Story Power have shown that I need to tell my painful backstory and let others know why I do what I do. Combine this bonus with your other bonuses, Massive Action and Sales for Superheroes, and you'll be an unstoppable business building machine. And that's before you even get into the Start With You experience. But remember, Hidden Story Power is only available while we're live on the line today. So there you have it. The Start With You experience includes everything that you need to walk away with massive clarity around what you're here to do and get started actually doing it. And by the end of this process, you'll be amazed to see how far you've come in just a few short weeks. And I can't wait to celebrate your success with you. And when you consider it, that's a small price to pay to finally know with certainty what you're here to do. And the business is going to be that vehicle to making your dreams a reality. And to know that you have all the right things to be successful. I'm so confident in your success based on our track record and based on the bonuses that I'm including that are only available to those that are smart enough to go to the link on the screen right now and sign up, that I can make you a guarantee, a legal guarantee of results when you sign up right now. I call this a reward guarantee. Now, for those of you who have children, or if you've ever been a kid, you might have discovered positive reinforcement seems to work a lot better than negative reinforcement. And that's why we came up with this reward guarantee. I wanted to reward you for using these powerful resources. I wanted to reward you for actually consuming the contents of the program that you're investing in today, because that's the one thing that I know that will most determine your success. If you don't remove the shrink wrap, you can't get the benefit, right? So I wanted to figure out a way to positively reinforce your action, because that's what makes people the most successful with Start With You. So here's the reward guarantee. I'm 100% confident that if you just use what's available to you and Start With You, and the bonuses, you will have the outcome that I promised. It's one thing to say that, and it's another thing completely to put my money where my mouth is. So let's do just that. It's simple. If after the Start With You experience concludes, you weren't able to identify your true north business and you meet our simple criteria, we'll keep working with you for free until you get to mission accomplished with your true north business idea. From where I'm sitting, all you have to do is show up, do the homework in each session, and you're literally guaranteed of walking away with your true north business idea to take and run with, no matter how stuck, lost, or indecisive you may be. Has that changed things for you? Knowing that as long as you take your responsibility and hold up your end of the deal, you're going to have the kind of crystal clarity that you've been looking for, and the clear vision and plan to start your business, or the inspiration for how to change your current business. So here are the conditions. You watch each training and take the action specified in the training. Yes, I'm actually asking you to consume the thing that you're going to invest in. That's not asking very much. It's asking very little, isn't it? So second, attend the twice weekly coaching sessions with me, because if you have any questions or anything that you need clarification with and you don't use this resource, I can't help you. Now, if you can't make it to all the live group sessions, then simply watch it on the replay. So I'm rewarding you for not letting small obstacles ever get in the way when you go out there and build your business. 3, participate in our private Facebook group so we can help you succeed. Every single success story that I've shared with you, you might have seen the screenshots. Everyone has come from one of our Facebook groups. Those are people, real people, posting and helping each other succeed. I want you to use that group, and I want you to be active in that group, which will only benefit you. So participate in our group and do all the homework assignments that I ask you to do as part of the program in the 21 days of the program. Remember what I said about taking action. If you don't take action, you can't get the result. And that's why I'm giving you the bonus number 1, massive action, that you'll receive in the next few days. The full details of this guarantee are on the link that you can go to that's on your screen right now. And if you want to read every single word and know everything about this, you can. So those are the conditions, and it means that we're not going to give up on you or allow you to give up on yourself. Because we both know that you can and will succeed as long as you're committed and you have the right support. And we'll stick with you and give you unlimited free coaching. You won't pay another dime until you cross the finish line, so you don't have to worry about getting left behind or not getting the mission accomplished, your true north business. That's how confident I am in your success and why I'm putting my own money on the line to support you. You get the full Start With You experience, you get all our incredible bonuses, you're backed by the reward guarantee, and you get access to our incredible private Start With You community. So let me quickly recap what you're going to get with Start With You. You get massive action, rocket fuel, the Start With You coaching sessions, sales for superheroes, a free ticket to Message to Money Live, a spot in the Start With You Hall of Fame when you get to mission accomplished during the 21 days of the program. I'm powerful, and you get me personally facilitating the program. I bill out my days, like I said, at $15,000, so you're getting me for 3 weeks. And the reward guarantee. And if you sign up while we're live on the line on this webinar, you'll also get Hidden Story Power valued at $297. Just sign up using the link below, and I look forward to working with you. Now, I know people who wait their entire lives for the clouds to part and for the lightning to strike before they take action. This is your moment where you get to make the lightning strike for yourself, where you take back control and begin to shape your own destiny. I'm going to tell you, and this is my belief. It is my belief that we were created with unlimited potential and ability inside of us. And the purpose of our life is to figure out how to unlock as much of that potential as humanly possible. So when I look at you and when I think about you, I see someone with absolutely unlimited potential. So of course, you're meant to build this business. Of course, you're meant to be fulfilling your mission out there in the world. Of course, you're meant to have the business that only you can have. And if you truly believe that yourself, if you really do believe that, look deep down inside and ask yourself, do I deserve it? And the next step is, do you want to create it? Do you want to find a way to make that happen? Okay? Do you have those two things? Are you willing to do it even if it's going to be hard? Are you willing to do it even if there are challenges in the way? If so, you have everything you need. Because I got the rest of it. I got the how, I got the method, I got the resources, I got the tools, I got the community, I got the track record, I got everything else that I can possibly do in my willpower to back you up. But I'm asking you to do something for me, right? I'm asking you to A, accept that you can do this and have this. And B, I'm asking you to be willing to put the work in. Most of that work's going to be right now, figuring out how to put the funds in place, getting out of your own way and just moving forward. But Marisa, I don't have the time. It's not about how much time you have. It's about what you do with the time that you do have, no matter how little time you think you have. As Kate Wan said, I 5x my earnings on last year while only working during school hours, having more time for my family and taking each Friday off to ski. I even took my family of 5 on a trip to Disneyland. So do you know how phenomenal a feeling it is when your part-time business starts to make more than your full-time job? It isn't about the time. If it were about the time, Kate wouldn't have more time now than she had before. So I asked Emily, who started this journey while her son was in chemotherapy. I asked her, how did you manage to pull off starting and building a business while you were taking care of your son 40 to 50 hours a week? She said, most people thought I was crazy to try to grow my business while dealing with so much life stress, but what I needed was someone to help me do the right things the right way and quit experimenting. I felt desperate to find a plan that showed me exactly how to structure my business for growth. We have students who are only able to commit a few hours a week, and I'm here to tell you that you can still do it. It might be a little slower, but you start to see results. But once you start to see results, you're going to find that magically more time becomes available to you. This doesn't make time. This doesn't take time. This makes time. Let me repeat that. This doesn't take time. This makes time. Do you think that if you keep doing what you've been doing, do you think that magically you're going to have more time one day? And then on that day, someday, one day, you're going to do this? No. It's time to come clean with yourself. It's time to come clean. And if I'm pushing you right now, it's because I care about you. My mission here on this planet is to help 1 million entrepreneurs start and grow their business by the time I'm done. I saw what finding my true north business did for me in my life. And by the way, how this search literally brought me my life partner, Murray. And I've decided that the more I can share these ideas and this experience, and the more I can help you, the more joy I receive, and the more I'll fulfill my mission of making a positive change in the world. This is the sum of my life's work. This is what I was put on this planet to do, and I've packaged it all up to put in front of you today. But you need to do your end. You gotta go to this URL, and you gotta sign up. Mark says, hey, I won't make a dime off this, but if you're wavering on Start With You, message me. It changed my life. Yvonne said, Marisa, you are a healing force par excellence. I really can't express my gratitude for the coming together of what has always been my purpose, but invisible to me because of fear and guilt. Deborah says, I began to actually see and feel my gifts and my business offering unfolding before my eyes. As a result, I now know what my gifts are and how I can share them to help others. Once you sign up, you get the reward guarantee backing you. You get all these resources and you get the best experience on the market to lead you to what you're on this planet to do and how to get started doing it starting today. Here's the thing. I'm scared. I have a huge fear. I think it's important you know about it because this could mean everything to you. Making a good decision, a bad decision, or the best decision of your life. Remember Kate's story. Remember her hesitation, her fear about moving forward when she was struggling and her business was in decline. She was scared to put even more money on the line and not get results. She almost gave up on herself, but we didn't give up on her. She signed up anyway, and it's made all the difference. Let's not pretend that this is not going to be a challenge. This is going to be a challenge, financially, emotionally. It's going to be a challenge because you're going to need to ask yourself some tough questions and be willing to hear the answers and follow the guidance from within, even if it's hard. Because that's the only way to get where you need to go. This is going to be one of the hardest, best decisions because it's going to make all the difference. We're here for you. As Sean says, it was inspiring to be led down a pathway of refining and clarifying how to approach my dream business. I was having difficulty with gaining clarity on how to approach my business from a new angle and to really find a way to make it a success. This was the perfect next step for me and my business. Cheryl says, found my starter niche. Start now, grow your list first. Marisa was able to clearly show me where I should start. This process was great. Dr. Amore, a very special lady, says this, searching for your life purpose, it all starts with crystal clarity, Marisa's signature quality, and a relentless encouragement to crank up the volume to the most authentic me I can be. Done that. A month later, I have a new offer, attracted a new tribe of young women, and I made more money than any other previous month this year. Jane, who started a True North business teaching couples how to have better sex, says, I bought Start With You. Did it work for me? The answer is a resounding yes. What's happened in the month since the course ended? I've led a live event, spoken in another city for a group of my right fit audience, been interviewed for a popular podcast, and begun creation of a digital product. I have gone from 0 to 8 clients. And when Jane talks to me, she talks not about the money she's making in her business, which is important. She talks about how much of a sense of purpose she feels. Start With You has given her confidence to go after her profitable niche and to offer her individual coaching to more people, which has led to actual real clients, more people having better sex, which leads to happier marriages, happier families, and more peace in the world. I am changing the world. She was the one who did all that. She was the one who made it happen. She's now in control of her destiny. We're here for you. Our support is always one click away on any page that you go to. Whenever you need anything, just send us an email. Our average response time during business hours is usually less than an hour. If you've got questions that you need answered so you can make the yes decision that you need to make to get started with us today, then ask us. We have a chat box in the bottom of the page when you go to the URL on the screen. Talk to us. After you get in, after you get going, if you need anything, we're always a click away. So I'd like you to imagine with me, for just a moment, a not too distant future, where you knew exactly what business to start, precisely what products or services you should offer and to whom, and what it would be like if you knew that business would not only make you a very good living, but would also be one that would be personally fulfilling and bring joy to your life. Close your eyes for a second. Picture in your mind the expression on your face as you feel that combination of peace, assurance, confidence, and eagerness to get started. Feel how amazing it is to know you can finally move forward and execute your plan without any fear of failure. Relax into the certainty that there's already a group of customers eagerly waiting for you to get your business going so they can start buying from you. And the best part, right now, at this very moment, you're only 21 short days away from having this. How much would it be worth to you to have that assurance, peace, and comfort before investing time and money into your new business? Thousands? And how much more is it going to be worth to you to know that the business that you'll be working in will totally mesh with your goals and aspirations, help you achieve your full potential, and attract even more joy and fulfillment into your life, thousands or even tens of thousands more? Just click the button below to enroll in the Start With You experience and get everything I just shared with you. All you have to do to get started in identifying your personal True North business is to enter your information into our secure registration page and click Submit, and then choose which option is right for you. And then get excited because you're about to discover exactly what it is you're here to do and gain the confidence to start taking action right away to achieve your dreams. All right, so let me switch back to the video mode and answer some of your questions. And I see we've already got some people signing up. Pascal and Esty and Michelle and Shakita and Dottie and Williams have already signed up with Start With You. So congratulations to all of you. And congratulations. And remember, you got the fast action bonus of Hidden Story Power as well for signing up while we're on the line. So just a reminder that the extra bonus, the fast action bonus of Hidden Story Power, is only available while we're on the webinar. Jeffrey just says, this really resonates. Gregory, sorry, this really resonates with me. Thank you, Marisa, for your amazing opportunity. Your program is remarkable. Regards from Melbourne. Awesome. Thank you, Gregory. So let me start to answer some questions here, and we'll go in a moment over to video. And let's see. Juliana's asking, how is this course different than Live Your Message? Juliana, do you mean a message to money? Because I don't have a course called Live Your Message. It's actually the name of my business. So Message to Money was a program that I did many years ago that I've discontinued. It was my very, very first program that I taught. And since then, I've basically had about 4 years or so to develop as a trainer and as a teacher. And what I realized is that the fundamental choice of the right business idea for you, it's the choice that people get hung up on for such a long period of time. And I was jumping right into helping people work on their message and their brand, but many of them hadn't made this choice. So I decided to make a course entirely around making a choice that's going to be both fulfilling and profitable to you, because that's where a lot of the work is. And once you do that choice, like, everything becomes so much easier. You can be successful in all of my other programs and anything else that you do in business. So Message to Money was focused on your message and your brand and your products and your marketing and just about everything. And Call to Adventure is really hyper-focused on simply understanding exactly what kind of business to build that's going to be best for you right now, okay? So that's the main difference between those two things. And Message to Money Live's different completely. It's a live event that you get as part of Start With You. So Kate wants to know, how long will we have access to the course materials if we join? Kate, really, you have lifetime access. We keep the things on our membership site. You can always log in. You can always get access. And I see someone else asking, will this work for any kind of business? It won't, because if you're building a cookie cutter business, or if you're building one of those copycat businesses that I'm going to talk about, that I was talking about a little bit earlier, this is not going to work for you because you're just trying to follow somebody else's template. Instead of giving you a one-size-fits-all solution, this is about really pulling the answers out of you and discovering the kind of business that you're here to build. Not the business that somebody else is here to build, but the business that you are uniquely here to build. And that's the big difference, right? When you find that, everything else makes a whole lot of different sense. So it really can build any kind of business. We've got people in health, in spirituality, in personal development, in business, in finance, in career, in the nonprofit world. We have people in so many different kinds of niches. I think you saw a bunch of them on the screen and heard examples from so many different kinds, even people selling products. So really, it can be so many different kinds of business. But it's just got to be something that's going to really align with you and be something that you can uniquely build. Because honestly, the market's too crowded to go and try to copy somebody else. Katrina's wondering, when does the program start and end? Excellent. I'm going to look up my calendar right now so I can tell you exactly. Okay, the program starts on September 11th and goes all the way through to October 1st. September 11th through October 1st. And you'll have the Rocket Fuel module in the membership site when you log on right away. It's available now. In the next few days, I'll be releasing the Massive Action bonus as well, and the I'm Powerful bonus too. So there's going to be things that you can do in the next couple of weeks. I also know that next week is a big vacation week for a lot of people. So we wanted to kind of do this after Labor Day, after people have had a chance to get settled in. And in terms of when the coaching sessions will be, they're going to be starting the week of September 11th, Mondays at 11 a.m. Pacific and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Pacific. So we found time zones that fit for Europe, that fit for Australia, that fit for pretty much every time zone there is, Asia as well, because we have customers from all over the world and students from all over the world as well. All right. There's some nice feedback coming in too, which I love to see. Uwe says, I'm so glad that I decided at Message to Money to join. Thank you very much, Marisa. Now I don't have to do the 7 criteria for my new dentist niche myself. You're funny. I very much appreciate it. Awesome how it comes together, and I definitely feel more at ease than ever when I think about the future of my business since the 10 years I'm running my business. Sweet. And Janine says, I'm a second-year mentorship student with Marisa. If anyone's on the fence, I was where you are about 2 years ago. She's actually been working with me for 4 years. Having Marisa as my mentor and my coach has been the best investment I have ever made for myself, as well as for my thriving business. Honestly, I wouldn't be where I am today if it were not for Marisa and her team. This is always someone to help me. There's always someone to help me. Bethany asks, how many coaching sessions with Marisa? 6. So I'm doing 6 group coaching sessions live on the line. And if you've ever done a laser session with me, we can get a lot done very quickly. So I can really make it happen pretty fast with you. Beth, if that's Bethany, is it the same Bethany who won our incubator grant? Because you can apply the $1,000 gift to this program. All right. And Shakita says, I'm not tech savvy. We'll start with you help with how to build a business. Yes, it will. And Murray, can you put my camera back on the line? Because I want to come back on the line right now. For sure. Shakita, Start With You is really not about building a website. Start With You is a lot more focused on, let me just get the right thing here. So camera and not my screen share. There you go. Start With You is really focused on getting your core idea hyper dialed in. Because what a lot of people do is they start building websites, but their idea is not crystal clear. And because of that, all of the time and effort they spend on a website is wasted. So this program is not about building a website. It's not about doing all of that stuff. It's about getting the idea so dialed in that when you do all of that other stuff, you're going to be way more successful in it. Because what most people do really doesn't set them up for success is they go and do all of that stuff before they really even know what they're all about. And because of that, it's just not, they can't be successful in anything else. So you don't need to be tech savvy at all for Start With You because it's about the core foundation, which is super, super important. All right, some more questions here, which is, I thought I saw something about moving to Hawaii. There it is. Would I have to start right away? We have made a decision to move back to Hawaii, and I'll be starting over with a new business there. I'm not sure of the timing, and I could suddenly be packing and wrapping up my practice here. Linny, the program starts on September 11th and goes through October 1st. From September 11th to October 1st, we drop about half of each module every 3-4 days. So you can do it on your own time and then just show up for the coaching sessions. It's really one of those programs that's designed to do in your time, but we show up together and we really focus on working on your business. I call it a reverse classroom model. Instead of showing up to teach, I show up to coach because you can watch these trainings on your own time, but I'm releasing them about half every 3 to 4 days of each module. And then you do those on your own and then you come back and you work with me on the implementation because that's where people get stuck. It's applying everything to their business. And that's where kind of the real distinction comes in. So that's kind of what we're working on there. And let's see. All right. Maria says, I have to say that being an energy healer, it is one of the hardest things for me to know how to express what I do and to run my business as a business. Your work is extraordinary because it allowed me to find who I serve and how to speak to them. And it certainly has made a real difference in my business. Thank you. Well, thank you, Maria. I didn't even know that you were here today. Awesome. She's based in Thailand. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And let me see who else has got a question for me. And remember that we do have this bonus of hidden story power while we're live on the line. So if you sign up while we're live, you get that extra bonus of the other $297 course with me. And that also includes quarterly story celebrations where I get together and you can share your story with me and I give you 5 minutes of feedback. I think Maria's been on like 4 of them and she basically dials in her story every single story celebration. People come back over and over and over again until their story is really dialed in because I'm a pretty good storyteller and good at giving feedback to make your story even better. I see a lot of familiar names and things in here in the chat too, which is awesome. All right. Anybody else have a question with me? Let me know. I'm not showing up on the screen. Really, I see myself. Is anyone else seeing me on the screen? Let me know in the chat. Yes. Okay. Okay, other people see me, so it could be just a fluke in your computer and your system. So what other questions do you have for me? Anybody else have a question? Let me know if you've got a question because I'd love to answer it. All right. Thank you. Getting compliments on my necklace. I appreciate it. I like rose gold. It's my favorite. All right, let me see. I think I've got all the questions. Oh, someone's asking about Start With like the Message to Money Live, when it is. It's the 16th to the 18th of February 2018. Okay, so February 16 to 18, 2018 in Los Angeles. Beautiful. Somebody's asking if they can get a copy of my slide deck. I don't give away a copy of this slide deck. Sorry. But we do have the checklist. Oh, did we drop the link in for the checklist yet? So we do have a checklist for all of you, which is the checklist that I went over. Can someone on my team drop that link? Oh, great. I see that Michael and Stephanie also signed up. So awesome, Michael and Stephanie. Welcome to Start With You. And you get the extra benefit of really getting the fast action bonus of Hidden Story Power. All right, I see another question from Calvin. He said, I'm interested in this program. I have no idea on a business to make money. I've tried MLM with no success. We have talked a few times over the years, and I have invested in 3 of your programs. I struggle with severe migraines over the year. Do you think this program can help me? Calvin. So Calvin, I think you've been in my Hidden Story, my Call to Adventure program. So this is kind of a update and an upgrade on Call to Adventure. So if you've done Call to Adventure already, this is a much more expanded and improved and experimentified version with a lot more coaching. So if you feel like you could use more coaching to get to clarity around exactly what business is going to be both lucrative and fulfilling, then yes, it can help you. And of course, it's just about putting in the time. And I know I've spoken to you a few times. And if you can put in the time and really do this and get to your business idea, then it can help. And it is similar to what you've already done with Call to Adventure. But if you want to do it again with the expanded version with the coaching from me, then I would say sure. All right, the checklist link is in the chat. So go ahead and you can kind of sign up for the checklist right there. All right. And the link to join is startwithyou.com/join. Startwithyou.com/join. All right, Gregory is saying, I can see the vast importance of this program. I just don't have the money at the moment. It's annoying to say the least. Regards, Greg. Well, Greg, what I'd like to invite you to do is to shift your perspective from I don't have the money to how can I have the money? Because that's something that always works for me. It's like instead of just saying I don't have the money, how can I have the money? How can I do this? Right? One has possibility, the other has no possibility. And we shift to how can I do this? How can I get the money? A lot of times your inherent resourcefulness kind of becomes available. You start to access your resourcefulness. And I'd say that that's like a really powerful skill. It's another one of those master skills along with action taker of being an entrepreneur is accessing your inner resourcefulness, because a lot of times you do have the money or you are able to do something for somebody. And, you know, we've had people borrow money from their neighbors and then they were able to pay them back super fast. There's so many different ways to work with that when you ask, how can I, rather than I can't. And that's such a huge, important shift. All right. So Kathleen says, I started with Call to Adventure, but I was not ready for it precisely because of the missing piece here. Also, the finances were stressful. Can someone answer this offline? Is there a issue? Is there I can't quite, possibility of putting the investment into this? So I'm not exactly sure what you're asking, Kathleen. You can definitely email our team if you'd like. All right. But I'm not exactly sure what that is. Okay, any other questions? We're heading towards the end of the program. All right, I see that Linda just signed up. Awesome, Linda. Welcome to Start With You. And she's taking advantage of the fast action bonus. So we are getting to the end of the call here and the end of the questions that are coming in. So it's the last chance to sign up and get the fast action bonus, all right? Last chance to sign up and get the fast action bonus. Okay. And I see that someone wants to pay by PayPal, and yes, that's definitely possible. So if you're trying to pay by PayPal, for sure. Adajar is saying, extraordinarily purposeful time with you at the price of my sleep. He's in a different time zone. Well, I have to say congratulations for staying up and really making it happen, okay? That's awesome. It's awesome that you're willing to watch this in the middle of the night your time, and that's a sign of someone who's going to be successful. All righty. Welcome. And this was super, super fun to be here on the line with you. And go have a great rest of your Friday. Go out there and live your message. I had a blast here with you today. Go take this information and start an incredible business, okay? Now go out there and live your message. Bye. And welcome to Linny. I just see that Linny just signed up as well, sneaking in to get the fast action bonus. Awesome, before I hit the stop button. So welcome, Linny. Excellent. All right, goodbye.